Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, Red Blood Gaming. This is round two, Bendigo Open 40k, obviously 2,000 points, and I'm playing Tau. This is a re-record of a video that's already gone up because, as I stated in round one, which I did the exact same thing, I made the mistake of not turning on the microphone after it had been charged. So that's my boo-boo. I'm sorry you guys had to watch and listen to a video that had no sound whatsoever, even though there was a recording there. You probably all were crazy, and I thought I was crazy when I tested it to wonder what was going on, because I did the same thing and then had to re-record my round three game. So yeah, this will go down and then go back up again. But here we go. I'm recording with sound, so let's crack on. Again, as per normal, guys, I've been talking a little bit about my roster. It is obviously, for those of you who never played a tournament, you select your roster, submit it, and it gets approved. And then from then on, for the 5 games of that tournament, you cannot make any changes. That's to really stop list tailoring and force people to play in a way that's fair and balanced. So you pick an army you feel, or a list you feel is going to be capable at winning, and you deal with what you get in front of you. Games are randomized to start with, and then you get paired matched into your score and whether you won or lost. So if you win in the round one and you score 100, you're more likely going to play someone who also won in round one and scored rather high, being 85 plus. If there was another opponent who scored 100 in round one and there were only 2 of you, you were going to be paired into each other. But yeah, so as you can see, got Farsight, Shadow Sun, 2 Cold Star Commanders, one with 2 Fusion Blasters and the Ion Cannon, and one with an Ion Cannon, a Fusion Blaster, and the Airburst Fragmentation Grenade with that enhancement for that. The Fusion Blades enhancement on the other Cold Star. 2 broadsides, both running heavy rail rifles and missile pods. The crisis suits with the fire knife for the flamer for dealing with horde. That's the star size. I apologise. The fire knife to go with Farsight for the plasma, and then the 2 Sunforged going with the battle suits. The Cold Star Commanders. We've got the Ghost Kill with the Ion and Fusion Blasters, Piranha with a Fusion, and Seekers. The Riptide with the Ion and Fusions, and 3 Stealth Suits. Vespid for Uppy Downy, and then 2 lots of Crew Carnivores to try and screen everything out. I was playing against Tyranids. I felt quite comfortable. Big mistake. Had not dealt with Subterranean Assault before, nor had I dealt with Shadow of the Warp in the way it was played. Yeah, a lot of players I think must forget about it. I've played a few different Tyranid people, and yeah, never really had that happen to me. What happens in this game? To be honest, this was probably one of the second worst experience I've had playing a game in a tournament. The worst being last year when I went 4-1 with my Dark Angels playing Company of Hunters, and I played into Wolf Jail with someone who was bending the rules as far as I was aware. Units doing advance after they were shot when they don't have the ability to, and then another unit being given the ability when they shouldn't have. Yeah, it was very interesting. Yeah, that was a very I pulled the pin on that game after the top of turn 2 and was just like, this doesn't feel right. I went and did some research and found that technically the person had misplayed their list, but I didn't fully know it. The game just didn't seem right. There was no explanation as to what was going on. Can't say that for Joe, who I played in this, who played the Tyranids. Joe was straight up and down, told me everything was going on. I didn't realise it was going to be as dangerous and as violently aggressive as what it was. They're the words for it. It definitely took my breath away in the sense of holy shit. But yeah, anyway, enough from me. Let's jump into the game. So as you can see, Mission E, taken, hold, hammer, and anvil. I was the defender. And again, I got to go first, which is yuck for Tau. Tau is responsive. It is not Dark Angels where you can survive being shot at. I definitely do not like going first. I do know that going first can dictate whether you score well on primary in some options, but also going second allows you to try and shoot people off objectives, knowing that when they get into their next turn, they don't have primary, and hopefully you can score it. And come T5, when primary is scored last, if you have done well enough to shoot everything off and you can get to every objective, then you can score max primary in T5 and possibly claw back there, especially if you can hold on to one objective, your own home objective, and one more in no man's land, and really just block up two, so you're constantly scoring some sort of primary. As I said, played NIDS before, felt optimistic. Boy, was I wrong. Deployed very conservative. Possibly an error being super conservative. Had started to castle my units, which I was not really doing previous games. But round one, I started it and I stuck through it. We'll jump into T1. As you can see, I drew some real hard secondaries. I don't even, from memory, I'm jumping into my app because the final scores were yuck. I got assassination behind enemy lines. I held on to assassination for 2 turns, and I sacked behind enemy lines in T1. I didn't score any primary, as per what happens in T1. And then, opponent scored Storm Hostile Objective in T2. In T1, allowing him to score 4 victory points. So it was 0-4. I didn't want to lose anything to these bugs, but I realized I probably should have killed some of the bigger bugs to really give myself the ability to survive the upcoming T3 destruction. So let's jump into T2. T2, I scored 5 victory points from primary. I got small marked for death. I then decided that it was time to sack assassination and gain the extra CP. Joey scored 10 in primary, got area denial and recover assets, and as you can see there, the score was 7-22. Just dismal for me, and it gets worse as the game goes on. But yeah, not much I can say as we jump into T3. Look, T3, I managed to get Storm, Defend, Stronghold, and Storm Hostile. I also scored 5 primary, so I had a better game, a better turn 3 all round. Look, I also got the Challenger card, which I scored 3 off, giving me a big round in terms of gaining back, as you can see there, at 21-37. Joey scored 10 off, scores off primary, and 5 in secondaries, being marked for death and extend battle lines. At the end of T3, Joey battle shocked my entire army. Using his once per game. I've got a mistype there. Vacation. Supposed to be action. I don't know what happened there, but yeah, his once per turn ability, Shadow of a Warp, and it just ruined everything for me for the rest of the game. Really, I did not score much else. I scored 3 from my Challenger card in T4, which we'll jump into. Not being able to score primary, Joey scored 15 in primary and another 9 in secondaries. I couldn't shoot because everything was battle shocked, because his Shadow of the Warp gives need 1 and forces battle shock. He told me that another creature gives neg gives you an extra neg 1, making it neg 2. But yeah, I definitely did not enjoy this game whatsoever. Just obviously not being able to hold objectives now, I was screwed. I didn't realise that it only lasted till the end of that turn, meaning that in turn 4, had I been on any objectives at the start of turn 5, which we've jumped into, I would have actually scored primary, but I wasn't on any objectives. I couldn't get to any objectives. I was kind of stuck. I probably should have got myself onto the objective, maybe. I don't know what I could have done. Yeah, I didn't realize that in T5 it just disappears. I don't have to retake battle shock. It lasts a turn and that's it. My army goes back to being unbattle shocked, which I guess, knowing that I had some CP up my sleeve, I probably could have forced myself to pass particular one with stealth suits maybe, and then being able to like fight my way out of some stuff with the ability to reroll a +1 to hit on something. Only 2 units pass battle shock tests. I have to go back and double check again as to whether or not negative applies can be doubled up. I'm pretty sure you can only apply a negative once, but it's something that I will go and check and do what I have to do. It did mean that Joey scored 20 points in T5 and he maxed out primary. There was not much I could do once my army was battle shocked. I couldn't hit anything. It's a way, way overpowered rule. For an army to be completely nerfed like that and GW to think that's balanced is an absolute joke. I definitely think that needs to be looked at, and it should be a select 3 units and force battle shock at -2 if that's what the case is, but not everything within 12 inches. And that was my entire army because I didn't kill that bug quick enough. Yeah, a little bit my fault, a little bit really bad rules on James Workshop's behalf. But yeah, that it was just a draining, like energy sapping, demoralizing game, and the score was just atrocious. And Joey could feel it, and I felt bad because, um, you know, when the opponent is not enjoying the game, it's not fun for you either. I've definitely felt that a game I played last year. My day 2, game 4 at RatCon, I played into Necrons, and yeah, I won like 100 to 34 or 5. And while I was enjoying winning, my opponent wasn't, and it wasn't the same as winning on merit, winning a close game. It just left a bitter taste in my mouth. So I understand why Joey also felt, it wasn't as enjoyable for him either. We both were at we both felt shit. But game 3 was a different game. I, really shook it off after a while. I got it, out of my head and got back into it. And look, game 3, cast Space Marines, Death Guard against Daniel was fun and hilarious and close. And it really, even though I was 0-3 over the day, those first game 1 and game 3 really showcased that my army is actually quite valid. I'm not as far away from what I thought was possible. It's merely just skills. Get good, bruh. Get good, son, as they would say. But, a few things here and there could definitely turn one of those games around. So, learnings, scores were dismal. Subterranean Assault. Uh, yeah, Shadow of the Warp. Woof. Tyranid players just, yeah, wow. as I've got there, I found out later that Force Battle Shock only lasted a round. I should have asked, knowing that in round, I would have possibly tried to force my way into stuff so that on round 5, turn 5, I may have been able to score some victory points somewhere from holding a primary objective or two, which might have been a little bit better, and may have also, allowed me to then move into a couple of different things. Maybe I could have storm hostile, um, and taken that, given that I got engaged on all fronts, which, you know, again, being in more than 3 table quarters could have been a mission. Knowing that I could also, in my turn, fall back and shoot and then charge had I need be, because I have that ability and I have fly. I would have been able to do what I like to get away, pump something down. Maybe, it would have been a little bit better, but yeah, just an unenjoyable game, and it's not Joey's fault. It's just the way that the rules go, the way the dice fell. It is a dice game. You're going to have bad dice games, but, that is what it is. And so now that I finally have this video fixed, everything, it will go back up hopefully tonight, after I pull the other one down, and that will be what it will be. I appreciate everyone who is enjoying the content, leaving comments, liking, watching my stuff, and we'll get games 4 and 5, which were both victories, up ASAP, and then we'll look forward to the painting vids for the extra unit of Vespid I'm putting together for RatCon. And unfortunately, excuse the itching, I can't film at RatCon, which is okay. It's fair enough. It's their thing. It's a valid response. I did ask the question, and it doesn't hurt to ask. Hopefully, though, I'll be able to film some home games now that I have the equipment for it, and a couple of the boys will be able to come over and play, which will be good value. But yeah, as always, peace and love, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.